Guys, ANTOSS back again with another review, and today I'm talking about the Boge F17 tank today. There she is. It is a 1.8 ohm setup. So I've currently got it on my Provari running at 3.7 volts. So if you have a base model mod or you're on an Ego, this is how it's going to vape. Yeah, straight off the bat, this thing vapes great. It's excellent heat, excellent flavor, and a great throat hit. It really is at 3.7 volts, right? So I'll just take it off there and explain what it is. So this is the Boge F17 tank, okay? It's sort of newly released. Now, the difference this has over the Boge F16 tank is obviously you can see that it is a smaller capacity. Now this is advertised to hold 3.5 mils of liquid. This just isn't the case. Well, they're either telling the truth in a roundabout way or they're straight out lying, which Boge aren't the only sort of people using this sort of tactic with the SmokeTech DCT tank. They also gave a sort of roundabout truth in sort of capacity. So when they say 3.5 mils, they are talking about in total. So the tank itself will not hold 3.5 mils. What they actually mean is the tank itself will hold about 2 mils. And then the cartomizer inside will actually hold about, well, this particular one will hold about, about 1 mil. Okay, so that's where they sort of add up to get 3 or 3.5 mils. And I did the same thing with the DCT tank. The DCT is actually very, very similar in size. And it also filled up to about 2 mil, and the cartomizer filled to about 1.5, hence 3.5 mils. So you got to sort of watch out for these tactics that the manufacturers and vendors kind of use for capacity, okay? So that's what it is. So the difference between the F17 and the F16 is once again capacity, but also you'll notice with the top side of the tank and the bottom side of the tank are actually tapered. Okay, they're tapered at the bottom and it's tapered at the top. Now, the tapering at the top doesn't necessarily do too much, but the tapering at the bottom actually does do a function. And when you put it on there, now if you've watched my follow-up video with the F16, you would have seen me mention that you sometimes you need to slide the tank up and down to sort of get to control the airflow that you want. Now, the tapering at the bottom, you can see now there is quite a large gap, but it's a neat gap because of the tapering look. So there's virtually a V shape all around the air hole. So you don't really have to slide the tank up and down. So it is a bit more of an improved sort of design. That's really cool actually, because there is a very generous amount of airflow, coming into your mouth. So it's very, very good actually. So what we'll do is we'll just up it a bit. We'll put it to 4.2. Okay, 4.2. And once again, this is 1.8 ohms. Look, it's fantastic, just like the F16. That is fantastic. At 4.2, you're getting a generous amount of heat now, so you can feel it going down into your lungs, and it's quite a good, very good throat hit. So it's similar to sort of the feeling of having an actual cigarette. So it's really, really cool. Now, this design is actually very similar, if you've watched my previous video, very similar to the SmokeTech DCT design, okay, in size and pretty much sort of shape as well, okay. But I got to admit, this Boge F17 tank is stronger, okay? When you're sliding these cartomizers in and out as you refill or replace the tank cartomizers themselves, these inserts at the top and the bottom are very, very secure. Never has one come in and out, just like the F16. Whereas I must admit, with the Smoke-Tech DCT tank, these inserts are not so secure. I've actually had a couple of cases when I am, you know, putting up the cartomizer. You know, this top plate will actually, you know, slide out, and it is a hassle. Okay, but these F17 tanks, just like the F16 tanks, are really, really strong and secure. Okay, now, you know, I should mention. Okay, so what else is the difference between the F17 and the F16? Well, not much. Okay, so they both actually use the F16 tank cartomizer. They both use it still. The F17 tank uses the F16 cartomizers. So they haven't actually made, branded, or upgraded the sort of cartomizers and called them an F17 tank cartomizer. Once you buy the F17 tank, you then need to buy the F16 replacement carts. Okay, so you know, in itself, you know, besides the tapered edge and the difference of capacity, there's not too much difference between the F17 and the F16. Okay, and you know, all in all, that's not such a bad thing, because the F16 tank cartomizers are absolutely fantastic. They're really good for heat, flavor, strength. You know, it is a bit of a wonder to me why they market it as like an F17. Like, you know, you would imagine, you know, if it was called an F17, it'd be a whole new generation of sort of tanks, which it isn't. Okay, so it's more or less, you know, if you own an Xbox or a PlayStation, this is kind of more or less the slim version. Okay, it's kind of like just a newer shell on the outside, really. So if you enjoyed the F16, you know, you're going to love the F17. So if you want, the reason why you would sort of buy this if you already have an F16 is basically for versatility, for capacity. Okay, if you don't like bringing a very large tank out, you have the option to sort of bring a smaller one out with you. So that's what it is, basically. You know, that's the difference between the two. Okay, so that's what it is, guys. It's out there, and it's I think about $4.50 for the tank, and you'll get one cartomizer with it. Okay, so I'll give it one more vape, and we'll get out of here. It's good. Alright guys, thanks for hanging with me today, and I'll see you next time. See ya.